Hello, everyone. Hello, Dan Ray.
Hello there.
How are you, sir?
Excellent. How are you this evening?
I am great, as I hope everyone else out there is doing well. Also, in the world of internet video, growing your influence and your income, I hope people are having an incredible week, crushing it once again. We have an action-packed agenda where you and I will be sharing a tip of the week from each of us on how to more effectively use video. And then once again, we're going to be sharing our contender for video influencer, video user of the week that we find that we have been connected to, and we are doing great things in video on various internet platforms. And then I think we're also gonna we have a surprise announcement regarding some ways that we want to hear from our audience as well. Did I miss anything?
I think that's it.
That's plenty. That's a lot. Yeah. So let me first, folks tuning in, I want to hear where folks are from. So folks out there, whether you're on LinkedIn, Facebook, Mark Litwin is out there. Mark's in the house. Oh, it's great to see you, our friend. Let's see. So we already have a question coming in. This one's for you, Dan. Are you bracing? You're bracing yourself? You can only imagine.
Oh.
All right. The serious question, and in fact, it's serious because he put serious question. And this one's for Dan. Wouldn't Windows 9 have been a better name versus Windows 11? Go all total 4D chess. Yeah, so what say you? And please explain the context behind this question.
That's a good one. So today was Microsoft's big announcement of the next version of Windows, what's next for Windows, and it is Windows 11. And from my perspective, continuing the tradition of version numbers makes sense than going back to the one they skipped, which was Windows 9. But good question about what they should call it. I was actually betting on an announcement of Windows 365 in some form or another because Microsoft had copyrighted that years ago. And to this point, I'm not aware of them using it in any way. So my bet was maybe there would be an announcement regarding Windows 365, but it was Windows 11. And next week it will go into beta. So you can run it on a system of your choice or a virtual system. And I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
thanks, Mark, for the question.
Yeah, thank you, Mark, for the question. And you know that we only look ahead on this show. So we don't, we would never, and I'm sure Microsoft, tries to follow our lead, and with so that's why they looked
When they came
forward
to us,
with their naming convention.
when they consulted us, right?
Yes,
No, Windows
actually,
9 or 11.
there were some interesting announcements. We'll geek out a little bit, a little fanboy from a Microsoft perspective, but there were some interesting announcements that will affect users of video. One that I thought was really interesting is that Microsoft Teams will now be baked into the operating system. And so for all of you Teams lovers out there, and I know you're out there, that will be a really interesting to see ways in which that gets built into the OS, and you can take advantage of that.
Yeah, that and the Android update, that the Windows Store would now allow Android applications to run natively on Windows 11. I don't have more details than that, but that intrigued me as well.
Yeah, that will be interesting. I am not an Android user myself, but it sounds like I will become one. So yeah, that will be interesting to see what develops of that. So,
yes.
Thanks for the question, Mr. Litwin, and thanks as always for tuning in. There was the comment from Mark that says probably he says guarantee, but I think it's probably only possibly 33% of all people tuning in right now are fans of Microsoft Teams. I think it's got to be a much higher number than that, even though there are a lot on the line right now. Oh, very nice. If other folks from other platforms have some questions, make sure that you share that in the comments section. And we would love to, if you have some, number one, where are you from? But also if you have some questions or some experiences in using video to be more successful in your business or connecting with others, we'd love to hear about it. So make sure that you share that.
Absolutely.
Our first item on the agenda, I think 33% of our viewers may not be happy about, because the tip of the week that I was going to share was actually in regards to another platform from which video conferencing is occasionally done. I guess if you don't want to do it the right way with Microsoft Teams, you may explore other platforms. And if so, I was going to share a tip of the week that you actually shared with me, and thank you for for giving me an idea. This was something that I think you discovered. Somebody had posted on social media. Though not everyone at all times can look as handsome and as ready on video as you and I do. And so every now and then we may need a little bit of help, whether it's, smoothing out, let's say, a blemish, or if you're of a certain age or experience level like you or I, we may want to remove a frown line or a crow's foot here or there. And if for users of Zoom, yeah, that's right. There are other platforms out there, but users of Zoom, I was going to actually highlight how you could use one of the, I guess, filters or one of the settings in order to be able to touch up your appearance, maybe enhance color levels of your setup. That way, just add a little more vibrancy. So what I will do is hopefully, if the I will share my desktop here. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Hang on just 1 second. Got to get the right buttons. And I'm seeing that I can't find what I'm looking for. Whoops. I should have practiced this at home, Dan. There we go. Yay. So here is the Zoom window. Some of us are familiar with it at this point. And what we want to do is, whether you're in a call or before you start a call, just in the upper right-hand corner, click on your settings, and you'll get a pop-up window that will look like this. Over on the left-hand side, make sure that you look at your video settings, and you'll see your...
I'm not seeing your Zoom window.
Oh, excuse me. There it is. So here's a video tip. Here's a tip within a tip. This is a tip twofer. Dan, thank you so much. Yep, gone again. So what I was doing is, let me do this and this. There we go. It only took 27 pushes and clicks. But so what I'm actually, as I've shared on the show, I use OBS, or Open Broadcast Software, behind the scenes to control my layouts. And what it has a studio mode, so that you can actually do some things behind the scenes and make adjustments to layouts before you go live with that particular look. And for the first 2 minutes of my demo, I didn't realize I was in studio mode. So even though I was making changes and I looked fantastic and I was doing all sorts of things, it was actually in studio mode. So I was the only one seeing those changes. So that's what was going on there. And so that's tip. That's the tip within the tip, is make sure, if using OBS, that you are not in studio mode, that you go live if you actually want people to see what you're doing. But anyway, so now back to the real tip at hand is in our settings. I'll go back here in the upper right-hand corner of our Zoom screen. Click on the settings window. We'll get a little pop-up. Select video, which you should see your video image here. And then just below your video image, you'll see under the My Video setting, you can touch up your appearance, or you can also adjust for low light. But what I'm talking about is touch up your appearance. You'll see that by checking this, it's actually adding just a little bit of sharpness, a little bit of smoothness to your video. And once you have selected this, you can actually adjust how much of this that you want to apply. The reason why you're not really seeing a change in my video is because I'm using OBS, and that's kind of controlling my look. And plus, I'm not using Zoom to do the live streaming. Of course, we're using Restream to do the live stream. So we're not really seeing much of a change as you would if you were using Zoom. And while I'm here, you can also, if you're in a low light area or a bright light area, you can actually manually adjust for light. This you can actually see it is doing. You can actually see my preview there. It's getting brighter or darker based on me using this slider. So make sure that you're always looking your best, and use this filter, use this setting inside Zoom to touch up your appearance, add a little bit more light or remove a little light to make sure that you're sharing your best video. So thank you, Dan, for sharing that tip with me so that I could share it with the folks out there on the interwebs.
Excellent.
Now, what is your tip of the week, my friend?
Yes. So I went live to see if this would work in real time. And it's a feature in Teams that allows you to look at a video preview, putting you in the action of the screen share. And so what that looks like, if I go to my next slide here, is a preview that appears on your screen, putting you in front of your slides or your sharing of your desktop or your whiteboard, whatever you are using. And that preview window here that says Tech Thursday with Dan Ray only appears to me while I am presenting, and the slide or the screenshot or the whiteboard shows up with that preview baked in. So you show up over your slides or your whiteboard, and you can see what that looks like in my screenshots here. So that's what it looks like if I'm doing a PowerPoint. I'm the only one who can see where I am in relation to my subtitles. And then if I'm doing that in the whiteboard, same kind of thing. What portion of the whiteboard am I occupying? And I can see where I am, where I might want to gesture to other things, and where the arrow is in conjunction with my video. So that is my tip for the week.
Very cool. And show me again how I add this.
Yeah, so let me bring up Teams and show you in Teams.
Yeah, shout out for Teams.
Woo! So in Teams, I go into Meet Now. We have a meeting with the best. DaM. Show with Dan Ray. Let's do Dan and Mark. Watch me type furiously with one hand while I hold my other computer in my other hand. And we get into Microsoft Teams. We'll turn off the video and the audio because I'm already using those. And then in my share tray in the upper right of my screen, I have the ability to do a layout that turns on my camera and overlays my video with my screen or the window that I share. So I could share my PowerPoint, my whiteboard, my restream video, whatever it is. And if I am overlaid, you can see me in the lower right-hand corner of the video. So that is our tip of the week.
Very cool. Yeah, that's great. And more, the beauty of that is we're all getting pretty burnt out from a virtual standpoint of seeing almost a full screen of slides, and then more often than not, we see just a little thumbnail of the person speaking. And really, if we were in person, that would not be happening. We would not be seeing just a teeny tiny little version unless we were, back in college and we're in an auditorium of 500 students, and way down there is our professor. But more often than not, we're seeing full screen, full size person and that's where we keep our attention, and hopefully only occasionally glance at the slides. So this actually puts the speaker front and center and keeps the focus on us where it should be. So I think that's a very cool feature, and I look forward to using it many times in Teams.
I used that all week this week teaching Microsoft Teams administration, and it worked out really, really well.
Very cool. Well, thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely.
Oh, now moving on. So those are our 2 video tips of the week. And now we want to move on and point out a favorite creator from each of us, somebody that we have seen, that we're connected to, that we know is using video in a very interesting way or very effective way to be able to share their message, connect with others, and ultimately be able to grow their business. My video creator of the week that I want to highlight is, let's see if I can do a better job of making this transition. I am not in studio mode, and so I will. His name is Quentin Allums, and Q, as he goes by, I've met him in person. He lives up in the Milwaukee area. He is a fantastic creator. He's a really decent human being, wonderful guy, but he has been using video very effectively on LinkedIn and other platforms. I know he's very active on TikTok and Instagram as well. And what I really appreciate about his style, let's take a look at some of his recent activity, is just his casual approach to his video content. He also always has a signature look and feel to the content as well. And so he wears a signature hat. He often will use similar colors and coloring of the shot itself. And he just spends time sharing tips, sharing insights, experiences, stories in a way that we can all resonate with, we can connect with. And so let me pause for a second and share a portion of just one of his videos. You hear what's happening there. He's a fantastic storyteller where he's just talking to the camera, and yet he's using some enhancements on the back end. He's added a little bit of music. He's added some B-roll and some text there to really emphasize some of the key words. So it's simple. It's things that often I know that he just puts those together on his phone, as well as I think at times he works with other folks in order to be able to do even more dynamic videos. He does a lot of the content creation and the shooting of the video himself. And it's just so straightforward and yet engaging. You want to know more. You want to hear more of his story, as well as what he's sharing is very insightful and encouraging and uplifting as well. So Quentin Allums is my video content creator of the week. I will share on LinkedIn. Like I said, you can find him on all of the platforms, but he is LinkedIn tag just Q, is his handle, because you can just do a hashtag JustQ and you will find all of his content. But I will make sure that I post his details on LinkedIn. If you're not already following Quentin, make sure that you connect with him, and it will certainly enhance your feed. With that, that was my creator of the week. So, Mr. Ray, how about you, my friend?
Yes. So as we discussed this, somebody that came to mind for me is Chris Strub. And Chris is active on LinkedIn, and he wrote a book called 50 States in 100 Days, documenting live streaming in all 50 states within 100 days and volunteering in all of those states. So he was the first known person to do this on, I believe, Snapchat and maybe Instagram, other streaming platforms in all 50 states. And Chris is on Twitter. He's on all of the platforms that I have noticed video on, and is somebody that I follow on these various platforms. We can bring up and take a look at some of the streaming that he did. He is also known as the Giving Day guy, and has most recently done Give Local York in 2021. And Mark, I'm going to share a bonus person that we'll talk about in our special surprise for how we're going to do some interactivity this week. And that is Dr. Megan Lewis. And Dr. Lewis joined me in one of our Microsoft meetings, and she is a If Then She Can ambassador, which means she has been involved with the If Then She Can exhibit that is now live in North Park Center in Dallas, Texas. She has also been on PBS. She has met with us as a Microsoft Toastmasters group in public speaking. I reached out to all of the If Then She Can ambassadors, asking for volunteers to maybe share the message with our audience. And Dr. Megan Lewis wasted no time to get in contact with me and showed up to one of our meetings to present live, and does video, as I mentioned, both on different platforms as well as on PBS. So those are my two video creators of the week.
Another twofer here on the Best DaM show on video. So that is fantastic. Thanks for sharing. I can't wait to get to get connected with them, learn more about them, follow their content creation, and we'll make sure to share their details so that others can follow them as well. Oh, now this brings us to the special surprise that we have, and as per usual, I'm really building it up. So we actually want to hear from you, folks. We want to hear about your favorite video content creators that are out there. We want to make sure that we are featuring them on the show. So Dan, how are we going to encourage people to share with us?
So one great way that LinkedIn makes available to all members is to start a poll. And from a poll, you can ask a question like, what is your favorite video creator? And from there, you can give people up to 4 choices. So we can put in Quentin, And I'm going from memory here unless I can find our...
It's under Quentin Michael
Thank you.
Allums, A-L-L-U-M-S.
Thank you. And then we had Chris Strub. And we also had Dr. Megan Lewis. I can set up this poll for up to 1 week or 2 weeks.
Before you do that, our fourth, say, yeah, other or someone else. And let's encourage people to put that.
Yes.
Comment below.
And so you can have up to 4 options. You can use 30 characters for those options. And then you get to write a little copy that goes into your post. So we'll put in, who inspires you?
On video.
On video. You can edit this portion. So if I wanted to put more information later, I can edit this portion. But if you did any kind of mistake in the actual poll, it looks like you can now go back to correct that as well, which is great. If I wanted to say, instead of favorite, I can get back in there without having to create the poll from scratch again. And then when I post this, it becomes a public post on LinkedIn for you in the audience to vote on. We would love, as Mark mentioned, to hear from you on who of these 3 you might be familiar with, or who you would put in to our video content creator of the week. Mark, back to you.
Yeah, if you find them inspiring, we want to find them inspiring as well. So we would love for you to share with you. If you're not familiar with the 3, check them out. Give us your vote for which of the 3 jumps off the page at you, or if somebody else that you follow, or maybe even yourself, that you are really feeling encouraged and enthusiastic about the content that you're sharing on video, make sure that you share that with us in the comment section of the poll. And we would love to feature you on upcoming episodes of the show.
Absolutely. With Restream, we can send real-time invites to folks that are attending. And instead of just our guests that we might plan ahead with, if you are a content creator and would like to come on and showcase something or answer one of our questions, get a little involved, we can bring people to the stage directly in Restream. So that's a possibility for the future of the best damn show on video.
All right. Well, thank you for that. Make sure you check out the poll that Dan just shared. I will make sure that I share it as well, and get us your votes. We want to feature your content or your favorite creators' content. Well, with that, you got a 3-fer of the video tips of the week, not just 2, but an extra one, as well as favorite content creators of the week. Also shared 3 of those. Next week, we're not going to be live because, can we share why, Dan? Why we're not going to be live?
Yeah, we can. I will be on vacation. I will be on vacation in Maine. And in Bar Harbor, which I've heard is how you pronounce Bar Harbor when you're visiting, is where we will be for, I think it's 5 days. So I'm looking forward to a vacation, but unlike last time I came live from a vehicle, I thought for family vacation, it made sense to talk about maybe just postponing or rescheduling for the following Thursday. Correct, Mark?
Yes. Yep. We'll be back 2 weeks from tonight. And I'm so happy you clarified Bahaba because for a split second there, I was like, he didn't tell me he was going to the Bahamas. Then I got it. But so we'll see you back in 2 weeks, which I believe will be July 8th. The same bat time, same bat channel on your favorite interweb platform. We can't wait to be back. We'll miss you while we're away. Have safe travels, Dan. And all of you out there, make sure you have safe and healthy couple of weeks ahead of you and enjoy creating video content. And make sure you participate in the poll. Any last comments from you, my friend, before you take off for Bahaba?
I'll have to work on my accent, and I really appreciate, Mark, you helping with this. It's been just a pleasure to do something with somebody else from a content creation and a video tip perspective on Tech Thursdays, which is my YouTube channel. I think we're live on your YouTube channel as well, and Facebook and a couple other places too, besides LinkedIn Live, right?
Yes, we are. Yep.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Make sure you join us 2 weeks from tonight. And also make sure you participate in the poll. We want to feature your content, and we will see you very soon. Until then, happy videoing.
Thank you so much, everyone.